Okay. Am I audible now? Yes, guys, please tell me, am I audible now? Yes, okay. Thank you, Nitish. Thank you. I'm audible now. Okay, so let's start then. First of all, let me start by talking about the series of lectures. We will start with this series of lectures, which is exclusively for grammar, and that too exclusively for MAHCT exam. Okay. So, first, I will give a very brief introduction about me. Hello, everyone. My name is Sharwari, and I have been teaching since for CAT aspirants, management aspirants, GMAT aspirants, CLAT, even for GRE. I've been teaching since 2015, and I have mentored almost more than 600 to 700 students. And especially since I have been teaching since all these years, what I have done is I have built many effective learning techniques, and all those learning techniques are specially built on the knowledge that verbal का लोगों को थोड़ा सा डर लगता है. People are little bit scared of verbal, एंड बेसिकली आई ऑलवेज ट्राई टू हैव अ वेरी गुड कंसेप्चुअल फ्रेमवर्क, क्योंकि अगर आपके कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर होंगे तो आपको वो जो सारे टेक्निक्स है वो अप्लाई करने में काफी इजी जाते हैं. ओके, सो दैट्स इट. लेट्स गो अहेड. सो अभी बात करते हैं थोड़े से ग्रामर की. ठीक है, अभी एवरीवन नोज कि आप लोगों को है 50 क्वेश्चंस इन सीईटी, राइट? अब ये है आपका वीएआरसी सेक्शन. अब उस वीएआरसी सेक्शन में से आज हम एक्सक्लूसिवली सिर्फ दो एरियाज की बात करेंगे. फर्स्ट इज ग्रामर, सेकंड इज वोकैब. अब ग्रामर के आपको आते हैं 8 to 15 क्वेश्चंस. वोकैब के भी सेम आते हैं 8 to 15 क्वेश्चंस, राइट? अब हम स्पेशली इस चीज की बात करेंगे हमारे ये वाले सीरीज ऑफ लेक्चर्स में. ठीक है, आपको चाहिए है लेट्स से 35 प्लस मार्क्स टू गेन 99 परसेंटाइल, करेक्ट? अब आपको ये जो 35 मार्क्स मिलने वाले हैं ना आउट ऑफ 50, हम उसमें से इन दो एरियाज पे फोकस करने की कोशिश करेंगे. क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, ग्रामर के अगर आपको रूल्स पता हो तो आपको आंसर आपका सही है या नहीं है ये यू कैन टेस्ट इट वेरी इजीली. ओके, सो आउट ऑफ दीज लेट्स कंसिडर दैट इफ देर आर 12 क्वेश्चंस in exam and we even let's say get 8 to 9 out of them correct. सो एक्चुअली 35 में से लेट्स से 8 to 9 मार्क्स तो आपके सिक्योर हो गए, राइट? तो वी विल ट्राई टू फोकस ऑन दीज 8 to 9, और लेट्स से अगर आपका लक ज्यादा होगा तो उससे ज्यादा भी हो सकता है, करेक्ट? तो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट दैट देन. ठीक है, अब ग्रामर का ना लोगों को डर क्यों लगता है पता है? क्योंकि जैसे ही हम रेन एंड मार्टिन सुनते हैं वी आर लाइक ओ माई गॉड कंफ्यूज्ड. बहुत सारे रूल्स है, बहुत सारे ज्यादा रूल्स आते हैं, एंड देन बहुत सारी भारी भारी लैंग्वेज होती है, एंड वी गेट कंफ्यूज्ड इन दैट लैंग्वेज. वन रूल लीड्स टू अनदर रूल, अनदर रूल लीड्स टू अनदर रूल. There are so many exceptions, and then we get a phobia out of that book. So it's not like that. There are very limited topics of grammar in your exam. We will discuss those topics also for you. So what I have done is I have made a checklist for you, and try to cover we will cover all those topics in our upcoming lectures. So आप लोग क्या करो ना, प्लीज ये वाली जो चेकलिस्ट है, इफ यू नीड प्लीज write it down, that checklist. First is parts of speech, correct? Second is articles. Third is phrases and clauses. Then next is subject verb agreement. Then obviously we have tense, right? Tense is very important part. Obviously we have tense. Then we have conjunctions. Okay, we have tense, we have conjunctions, and what is remaining? Articles हो गया, part of speech हो गया, subject verb agreement, conjunctions भी हो गए, and what is remaining is voice, right? Voice. But I'm doing star on this because ना ये rarely asked, this is rarely asked. सब्जेक्ट मतलब जो फोकस होते हैं आपके इसमें वो फर्स्ट पे फोकस होते हैं, लास्ट वाला जो टॉपिक है वॉइस का उस पे इतना मतलब क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते हैं आपको, ठीक है? सो यू कैन बी लिटिल बिट रिलीव्ड अबाउट दैट. ओके, so what we will do in this series of lectures is we are going to cover all these topics for you and I'll try to make them very simple for you. हम लोग जो भी इसके रूल्स है वो हम एक फ्लो चार्ट के फॉर्मेट में करेंगे, ठीक है? So let's start. First type of question that is very often asked in CET exam is error spotting. Okay, now we'll start with this first question. The team's change ends at half time so that neither side have an unfair advantage. No error. Now, this is your sentence. This sentence is divided into four parts, and we have to find out which one part of this sentence is erroneous or if the sentence is correct. If the sentence is correct, we have to mark no error as the answer. Okay. Now, I'll just give you some time. Please try to solve this question and type your answers in the comment box. So then after that, I will explain the concept, relating concept to you. Okay. So please try to solve this question. ओके, आंसर आया है अथर्व से सी, अनोश से सी. ओके, ठीक है. डू वी हैव एनी अदर आंसर्स? आई एम वेटिंग. ओके, प्लीज गाइज ट्राई टू सॉल्व एंड टेल मी. हैज एनीवन गॉट अ डिफरेंट आंसर अपार्ट फ्रॉम सी? किसी और का? ओके, वी हैव वन मोर आंसर ए. ठीक है, एनीथिंग एल्स? सी या ए? गाइस सारे लोग सॉल्व करो प्लीज एंड टेल मी द आंसर्स. ओके, सो वी हैव टू आंसर सी एंड ए. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट. ठीक है, द टीम्स चेंज एंड्स एट हाफ टाइम सो दैट. अब देखो, द टीम्स चेंज एंड्स मतलब क्या? यहाँ पे दो टीम्स खेल रही है, करेक्ट? जैसे क्रिकेट में होता है एक ओवर के बाद वो साइड चेंज करते हैं, मोर और लेस वही लॉजिक है यहाँ पे. तो टीम्स है वो चेंज एंड्स चेंज करेंगे, ठीक है? ओके, चेंज एंड्स. अब यहाँ पे जो एंड्स है ना, दिस इज यूज्ड एज अ noun here, correct? It's not used as a verb here. तो the teams change ends, यहाँ तक सेंटेंस ठीक से जा रहा है. अभी आगे चलते हैं. At half time so that मतलब वो हाफ टाइम में जो एंड्स होते हैं वो चेंज करते हैं, ठीक है? यहाँ तक हमारा सेंटेंस सही जा रहा है. Neither side have an unfair advantage मतलब कोई भी साइड को अनफेयर एडवांटेज नहीं मिलना चाहिए साइड का, इसीलिए हाफ टाइम तक सारे जो भी दोनों टीम्स है वो एंड्स चेंज करेंगे, ठीक है? अब ना लेट्स गो बैक टू द चेक लिस्ट जो मैंने बनाई थी. यहाँ पे पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच की एरर, या जैसे नाउन है, एडजेक्टिव है, एडवर्ब है, उसकी एरर तो नहीं लग रही है। अ एंड द की एरर है यहाँ पे, एक बार चेक करो। देखो अ एन, अब देखो यहाँ पे एन यूज किया है, करेक्ट, वो भी अनफेयर एडवांटेज के लिए यूज किया है। सो सिंस इट्स अ वॉवेल, इट्स करेक्ट यूज ऑफ आर्टिकल। तो पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच की एरर तो नहीं लग रही है यहाँ पे, राइट। आर्टिकल्स की एरर भी नहीं लग रही है। फ्रेजेस एंड क्लॉजेस एक बार चेक करो, फ्रेजेस एंड क्लॉजेस की एरर है। टीम्स चेंज एंड्स एट हाफ टाइम, ये आपका एक क्लॉज हो रहा है, करेक्ट। सो दैट के बाद एक आपका अलग क्लॉज है, नाइदर साइड हैव एन अनफेयर एडवांटेज। तो ये वाले सेंटेंस में ना, ये वाला हमारा एक हाफ पार्ट है, ये वाला एक हाफ पार्ट है, ठीक है। तो द टीम्स चेंज एंड्स एट हाफ टाइम, ये एक क्लॉज है। नाइदर साइड हैव एन अनफेयर एडवांटेज, ये सेकेंड क्लॉज है। तो ये वाले क्लॉज और ये वाले क्लॉज को उन्होंने सो दैट से जोड़ा है। तो अगर सो दैट से जोड़ा है तो दिस इज ऑल्सो, दिस सीम्स करेक्ट, राइट। ओके, व्हाट इज आवर नेक्स्ट आइटम? सब्जेक्ट वर्ब अग्रीमेंट। ओके चलो अब नेक्स्ट वाला देखते हैं। प्लीज कैन एनीवन टेल मी, ये वाले सेंटेंस में सब्जेक्ट क्या है? कैन एनीवन टेल मी व्हाट इज द सब्जेक्ट? ओके, व्हाट इज द सब्जेक्ट इन दिस सेंटेंस? कैन प्लीज एनीवन टेल मी? The teams change ends at half time. Yes, teams. Very good, guys. Teams is our subject here. Now, according to subject verb agreement, our verb should agree with the subject in person and in number. Right? Our verb should agree with our subject in person and in number. Now, if we say that the team's change ends at half time so that neither side have an unfair advantage. Okay, now when we say this neither side, this have no verb, here it is used as plural, correct? It is used as plural, right? Now this subject is here valid till here, okay? Now when we start with this, so that neither side have an unfair. Now can anyone please tell me this have is used for which noun here? Side, correct. This have is used for the noun side. Now side here is used as singular, correct? Side here is used as singular. So can this singular noun have a singular subject or plural subject? Has have, correct? So if our noun here is singular, then our verb should also be singular. Please note one thing here, that this side is a sidekick for our main subject, that is teams, correct. This side is actually a supplementary subject for our main subject teams, because every clause will have one subject. So the sentence will have one main subject and the two clauses will have their own small subjects, correct. So we have here one king subject, that is teams, and two subordinate subjects, correct. So this one subordinate subject here is side. So our verb should agree with this also and it should agree with this also, correct. Now this change is agreeing with this. So यहाँ का मैटर हमारा सॉल्व हो गया। अब यहाँ का मैटर हमें सॉल्व करना है। चेंज इज प्लूरल, तो टीम्स के साथ अग्री कर रहा है। अब ये वाली साइड हमें बैलेंस करनी है। I always tell you that our sentence should maintain an equilibrium, correct. So if this side is maintaining that equilibrium, then this side should also maintain its equilibrium. So this has or have should agree with side. That is why this should be replaced with has. So C part has error. Those who have answered C is correct. Okay. So whatever checklist that we have made, please try to go through that checklist one by one and spot the error. So when we come to the point where we feel that this part has error, try to correct that error. If we try to correct that error, we'll obviously be sure about our answer that this part contains error. Okay. Next, Traditional ways of classification get defied due to the fact that several living organisms are not both animals and plants, and this part no error. Please try to solve this question and tell me the answers. Please try to solve this question. Okay, we have got one answer. D. Okay. What are the other answers? Okay, we have got one more answer as D. Okay, Raj. Anosh and Raj have given the answers as D. Okay, we have got one more D. Harsh. Okay. Yes. Any other answer? So we are going with D. Okay, we have got one more. E. Atharva has said E. Okay, Atharva. Any more answers? Okay, let's start. Traditional ways of classification get defied ड्यू टू द फैक्ट. अब देखो पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच फर्स्ट से स्टार्ट करते हैं. ओके वी हैव गॉट वन मोर आंसर इज बी. ओके ओके लेट्स गो वन बाय वन. ट्रेडिशनल वेज ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन. सो टिल हियर आई फील ट्रेडिशनल वेज ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन नो एरर. ठीक है. दिस इस वाले पार्ट में ज्यादा कुछ ग्रामर आ भी नहीं रहा है. दिस नो नॉट मच ऑफ ग्रामर हियर. सो दिस पार्ट is relatively simple and it's relatively fuss free also. Correct. So no error in this part. Now let's go ahead. Get defied due to the fact. Now get defied. Defied means what? Defied means what? Not to listen to someone. If someone is trying to tell you something and you don't listen to that person, means you are defying that person. Okay. For example, there are certain traffic rules that you need to follow and you are not following those traffic rules, means you are defying the traffic rules. Correct? Okay. So get defied due to the fact. These ways of classification get defied due to the fact. Okay, we are still going okay till here. Since we have one answer as B, we'll try to, circle back to this part. That several living organisms, even this part, C part is relatively fuss free. Very less, grammar in this part also. So this also might not be the answer. A is very fuss free. Even C part is very fuss free, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. That several living organisms are not both animals and plants. Okay. Now tell me one thing. When you listen to this part, are not both animals and plants, do you get a very simple, subconscious explanation of this? We, take a 1 second pause and listen carefully, right? Are not both. Are not both animals and plants. When we hear this part, no, we take a 1 second pause and subconsciously we try to understand what is going on, right? So I always tell all my students that whenever you construct a sentence, that sentence should be relatively simple for the reader to understand. Correct? So when I say this part, I have to, take a pause and concentrate. What's going on in this sentence. Kyuki this are not both. It's little bit weird, no? Correct? We normally don't write such sentences. Correct? So we have to maintain that equilibrium. Now, when we say are not both animals and plants, this are not both. This not should be applicable to animals also and plants also. But in this case, this not is not being applied for both. So, yes, we have to change this part to neither animals nor plants. If we have this good conjunction group, no, neither nor. So why are we saying not both? Instead of not both, we can construct is neither animals nor plants. Won't it be simple also? And won't it be, fuss free to understand also? Correct? and the equilibrium will be quite maintained in the sentence. So what we'll do is get defied due to the fact that several living organisms, traditional ways of classification is okay. Get defied due to the fact that several living organisms are neither animals nor plants. Relatively simple ho gaya, right? We get a relatively simple and fuss free sentence. Correct? Okay, so this was a conjunctions error, right? Because neither nor is a conjunction, neither A nor B is a conjunction, right? So this is a conjunction error, correct? First was a subject verb agreement error. So our checklist has both these parts. We have conjunctions also and we have subject verb agreement also. So we'll try to follow our checklist. We only have to mentally learn those 5-6 grammar concepts and try to apply those. Okay. So we are good till here. Now, this part. His words to the press were deliberately equivocal. He didn't deny the reports, but neither did he confirm them. I'll explain the meaning of the word equivocal. See, इसको हम दो पार्ट में डिवाइड करते हैं. Equi means both, and VOC is related to words. Okay, VOC is related to words. So equivocal means he is talking from both the sides, or he is deliberately being neutral. He's saying this is also correct, this is also correct. He is not giving a very firm opinion. Okay, he's not confirming anything, he's not giving any firm opinion. He's deliberately talking from both the sides, or he's deliberately talking circumspectly. Means what? He's talking from all the sides. Circumspection, correct? He's talking from all the sides. So this meaning, the word I have explained this word. Now please try to tell me the answer for this. Go through our checklist and please try to tell me the answer for this. Is it a part of speech? Is it phrases or clauses? Is it subject verb agreement? Is it conjunctions? So please, is it articles error? Is it tense error? Is there a tense error in this? E, Atharva, okay, we have got one answer as E, okay. Do we have any other answers? Do we have any other answers? Okay, Harsh, D. Okay, we have got one D also. Okay. We have one E, one D. Anything else? Do we have any other answers? Yes? No? No other answers? Only D and E? Okay. We'll go one by one. Okay? Okay, we have one more E. Okay, good. Let's start then. His words to the press. Up see, to the press. His words to the press. Relatively easy part. Relatively fuss free. Not much grammar here. Now, one doubt can be fuss free. That is the press. Up the press, since we are talking about media here, the use of article the is warranted. Okay, because we are talking about dedicated group of individuals which are labeled as media or press, the use of the is warranted here. So apart from that, A is relatively fuss free, right? Okay. Were deliberately equivocal means whatever he spoke to the press was deliberately equivocal, means he did not confirm, he did not deny, he talked from both the sides. This is also right, this is also right. Okay, Harsh would like to correct his answer. Okay, Harsh, no problem. So were deliberately equivocal. Okay. Now, how were they equivocal? They are giving the reason. That is, he didn't deny. He didn't. Up till here also were deliberately equivocal. He didn't. Till here also we are relatively fuss free. No grammar, that is no subject verb agreement, no conjunction, no tense, no part of speech, no article. So till here we are good. Deny the reports, but now see, he didn't deny the reports. Now here also the use of the is warranted because we are particularly talking about some reports, and those are not generalized reports. We are talking about very special reports, only one particular set of reports, and that is why the use of the here is warranted. Deny the reports, but neither did he confirm them. Now some people might find this part of sentence little bit weird, but though it is weird construction, there is nothing visibly wrong in the construction. Neither did he confirm them. He didn't deny, neither did he confirm. So this part, he didn't deny, neither did he confirm, is having that perfect equilibrium that we demand in a sentence. Though the construction is little bit offbeat, but it's correct. There's nothing grammatically wrong with this sentence. Part of speech follow ho raha hai. We don't have any article error. We don't have any subject verb agreement error. There is no conjunction error. There is no tense error. There is no phrases and clauses error. So basically we are good. No problematic construction, nothing like that. So here the answer is no error. So Harsh, good, you corrected the answer. So it's E, no error. Are we good till here? Can you quickly give me some yes or no so I can go ahead? If we are good till here, I can go ahead. Please quickly give me some yes or no's. Yes? Okay, very good. Because I'm asking because the type of question is changing now, okay? The type of question is changing now. Now, in exam, we are in so much hurry to go to the question stem that we don't read the directions properly. So please in exam, don't do any, you don't be in such a hurry to go to the question stem. Please read the directions, okay? Which of the phrases given below each sentence should replace the phrase printed in bold in the sentence to make it grammatically correct? If the sentence is correct as required, mark E as the answer. Okay. Just the format is changing. This is also a type of error spotting only. Now, both the magistrate and the station house officer has arrived on a conclusion at a mere glance of the complaint. Now, this is a bold part. Officer has arrived on a conclusion. Please have a look at it. Have the look at our checklist and try to tell me if you find any error in this part. Okay, we have got one answer as D. Okay. Okay, Anosha's changed his answer to C. Okay, Raj has also, okay, Raj is C, Harsh is C, Atharva is C. Okay, okay. Now, let's see the sentence. Both the magistrate and the station house officer has arrived on a conclusion at a mere glance. Now, see, there are two, parts here. Has and at. This preposition will come in part of speech, right? I told you parts of speech error. So preposition will come in parts of speech error, right? So we have two aspects here. One is verb aspect and one is a preposition aspect. Okay. Now let's see here. You have to change this has. Why? Because I'll give you simple flow chart. Two verbs connected by and Okay, sorry, my mistake. Two subjects joined by and, so the verb should be plural. Okay, very simple flow chart. All the grammar rules we will try to fit them in a flow chart, because it's very difficult to learn the sentences, but this visual aid, it's very easy to remember also. Okay, so please tell me the two subjects here. We have got one and. Magistrate is our subject 1, and station house officer is our subject 2. So we have two subjects joined by and. So how should be the verb? Plural, right? Have. Okay, have. So since we have arrived on this conclusion, having is wrong because there is no continuous tense here. Okay, there is no continuous tense here. There is no indication that the verb is in continuity. So having is gone. Has to nahi chalega, so we have eliminated this also. Okay, then has arrived, we have eliminated this also, and no correction required, we have already established that, so this is also eliminated. What is remaining is this: have arrived on a conclusion at a mere glance. Ab on, you don't say on for a glance, we say at glance, not on glance. We don't say on glance. Okay, at here is a correct preposition. We only have problem with this: our preposition is right. There is no error as such for preposition. Okay, so we have easily eliminated. This is also a subject verb agreement plus preposition, right? Plus preposition question. Okay, so let's go ahead. Jammu and Kashmir was emptied of its tourists and the Amarnath pilgrims at the peak of the season on the pretext of terror threats. Okay, very simple sentence to understand. As such, there is no complicated vocabulary in this. Please go through our checklist, parts of speech, subject verb agreement, phrases, clauses, and try to find out the error in this. Yes, can I get any answers for this? Please give me some answers. Yes? What do you think is the answer for this? No answers? Do you feel it's no correction? Okay. I'm not getting any answers from you guys. Please give me some answers. Amarnath pilgrims at the peak of the season of the takiye, right? So, yes, any answers for this? It's not so confusing, but if you have any, if you feel preposition hai, article hai, tense hai, please let me know. What is your answer for this? Yes? See, Jammu and Kashmir was emptied of its tourists. पहले तो हमको लगता है कि यार ये emptied of its tourists is, we don't feel very good listening to it, but we are not concerned with this part because it's not underlined also. Okay, so we just have to focus on this part to maintain the overall equilibrium of the sentence. Okay, and the Amarnath pilgrims at the peak of the season, अब emptied of its tourist at the peak of the season. ठीक है, emptied of its tourists at, let's put this part for a moment in bracket. Okay, let's put this part for a moment in bracket. So Jammu and Kashmir was emptied of its tourists at the peak of the season. If we don't read this part for a moment and try to find out if both of these parts agree with each other, then they do agree. There's no visible disparity here. Okay, there's no visible disparity. So Jammu and Kashmir was emptied of its tourists at the peak of the season on the pretext of terror threats. So there's no as such article error, conjunction error nahi hai. At the peak preposition part is also right, verb part is also right, tense part is also right. So visibly we don't have any errors here. So we'll go with no correction required. Whatever is the sentence is correct. We don't require any correction. Were you not sure about the answer? That is why no one answered. Yes? Were you not sure about the answers? Okay, next. Okay, this is a very good question. Okay, and this question had was repeated twice. Okay, not exactly this question, this concept. This concept was repeated twice in your past papers, and it's a very important concept. But काफी बार ये concept miss हो जाता है. So that is why I've deliberately taken this question because I wanted to discuss this particular concept in class. Okay, so if the government would have implemented the policy earlier, the crisis could have been avoided. So, when we read the sentence, we first get to know that it is a somewhat of a imaginary scenario. Correct? This is somewhat of imaginary scenario. Now, please try to read the sentence and try to apply your knowledge and tell me what should be the answer here. Please tell me what should be the answer here. It's a very good and very important concept. So please give me answers here. Yes? Try to evaluate the tense part or the imaginary part and try to tell me. Yes? Okay. Have you taken your required time? Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead? Please say yes or no. Am I audible? Am I visible? कुछ problem हुआ है? Guys, is there a problem in streaming? Please let me know. Am I audible? Am I visible? Yes? Guys, am I audible? Am I visible? Is there any problem in the stream? Okay. So, if the government would have implemented the policy earlier, the crisis could have been avoided. Now, this sentence where hypothetical scenes are played out. Okay? Hypothetical scenes are played out. Okay? एक चीज होती तो दूसरी चीज हो जाती. If one thing would have happened, the other thing also would have happened. This kind of sentences where one thing will lead to another, they can be present in past also. Like present in past means those actions would have been done in the past. Both the actions would have been done in the past. Okay. So, if both the actions would have been done in the past, then we need to establish some ground rules to have a proper fuss-free construction for such sentences. Now, such sentences where hypothetical scenarios are played out are called as conditional. Are called conditionals. Okay? Hypothetical scenes, the sentences where hypothetical scenarios are constructed are called as conditionals. Now, obviously, these conditionals will have two parts, correct? एक part हो जाता तो दूसरा होता, correct? So, obviously, they will have two parts. Now, if it has two parts, then we need to establish some ground rules for that also. Okay. Now, when we talk about conditionals, okay, so one part has to be in past perfect, that is the if part. Okay, if part, that is the first condition that we talk about, that is if part. So if part is one part, past perfect tense. Second is what we have as would have plus past participle part. This should be in the main clause. Okay, this should be in the main clause. Okay, now let's say this if part, will verify the if part first. Okay, that is this if. So the if part should have past perfect tense. Okay, should have past perfect tense. If, now if plus if we want to have past perfect tense, so implemented is gone for us, correct? Would implement is also gone because we want a perfect tense. Has is correct, okay, but we want past perfect, not present perfect. Has is present perfect, so this is also eliminated. Okay, now, and obviously since we need to do a correction, this option is also gone. So what is remaining is A. If the government had implemented the policy earlier, the crisis could have been avoided. This is your main clause. This is your main clause. Okay. So, main clause has would have plus past participle. That is could have. Would have or could have? Could have past participle been avoided. Right? We need a past participle been avoided. This is the if clause. If clause should have past perfect tense, so had implemented. Okay? So, had implemented. These scenarios, these sentences which have hypothetical scenarios are called as conditionals, and this is a rule of conditionals. This particular is a rule of conditional. We just have to apply this rule as it is. There are no exceptions for this rule. Very straightforward. if वाले clause में we need a past perfect tense, would have वाले clause में we need a past participle. That should be the main clause. That's it, nothing more. Okay, are we good till here? Can I go ahead? Guys, please tell me yes or no, because I don't understand if I'm audible or visible. कुछ problem है, please tell me. Can I go ahead? Now, the type of the question is changing here. Okay, the type of the question is changing here. Now, let's start with that. Yes, I was not able to see the comments, Harsh. Correct. Now I'm able to see all the comments. Yes, now I'm able to see all the comments. Okay, thank you. There was a glitch in my feed. I couldn't see your comments only. Now, let's go ahead. Which of the following phrases, 1, 2, and 3, given below each sentence, will fit into the blank to make the sentence grammatically correct? मीन्स इस फिल इन द ब्लैंक में हमें 1, 2, 3 ऑप्शंस दिए हैं. इनमें से या तो एक बिठाना है, या तो दो बिठाने हैं, या तो तीनों बिठाने हैं. So either it can be 1, it can be 2, or it can be 3. All the 3 sentences also. Okay. Now, choose the best option among the 5 given alternatives alternatives that reflect the correct use of phrase. Okay, in the context of the grammatically correct sentence. Okay, fine. So we have understood what to do. We should realize that the chance of accident dash in a train or on the road. Now options are maybe at least as great in our home as, was at least as great as in homes, maybe as great or greater in our homes than. Now 1 is correct, 3 is correct, both are correct, and 1 and 3 are correct. Please take some time and give me this answer. Okay, I've got a very quick answer by Harsh. D. Okay, Harsh. ओके बेन couldn't attend today's class. No problem बेन, आप बाद में देख लेना इसको, कोई बात नहीं. इट्स अ यूट्यूब वीडियो, सो आप बाद में इसको देख सकते हो. यस, एनी मोर आंसर्स? B. Okay, I've got one B also. I've got one D, I've got one B. Any more answers? Yes. Okay, only two answers, D and B. No other answers. A किसी को नहीं लगता है. None is correct. Come on, give me some more answers, guys. Okay, B आया है और एक बेन की तरफ से. Okay. Okay. So I have one more D by Yash. Okay, Yash, you feel D is the answer. Okay. Can I go ahead? Anosh says B. Okay, Anosh, I've got one more answer. ठीक है. Let's go ahead. We should realize that the chance of accident, okay, in a train or on the road. Up, let's first study these three options. Maybe at least as great in our home as, okay, was at least, okay, stop here. Was problematic case है. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमारा है प्रेजेंट टेंस. Here we have a present tense. So was तो चला गया. अगर was चला गया है तो ये वाला ऑप्शन चला गया. राइट, करेक्ट, ये वाला ऑप्शन चला गया. नाउ वी हैव टू कंपेयर 1 and 3. Let's study 3. May be as great or greater in our homes than. Okay, so maybe as great or greater in our homes than. Let's put this in bracket for some more time. Let's put this in bracket. Maybe as great or greater than. तो great और greater than का तो यूज सही किया है यहाँ पे. Great or greater than, this comparison is right here. Correct? So than is used correctly. Maybe as great or greater than, this is also used correctly. Correct? Okay. Now, maybe at least as great. Let's put this in bracket for some more time. Maybe at least as great as in a train or on the road. Okay. Do you feel, is there anything problematic with this sentence? Do you feel anything problematic with this sentence? Maybe at least as great as in a train, as great in our home as. The comparison that is done, as great in our home as in a train. This comparison great or greater सही है. Okay, great or greater सही है, but this comparison I feel is incomplete. This is incomplete comparison. Maybe at least you have to give it greater because आप किसी को compare कर रहे हो. We need to have a comparative degree here, right? We need to have a comparative degree here, which is happening here. Here there is no comparative degree happening. So this as and great, this doesn't go hand in hand. Okay. So there is no comparative degree happening here. So this also can't be the answer. Okay. So only 3 is correct. Okay. Only 3 is correct. Equal or bigger. Equal or bigger is correct. Maybe at least as great in our home as in a train. This as in a train and as great in our home, you are just making it as equal level. Correct? You are equal level आप उसको ला रहे हो. Okay, we need to have a comparative degree or a superlative degree. But since here two things are compared, I can't go for superlative degree. I have to go for a comparative degree. Right? That is why great or greater here is right. I need a comparative degree. I just can't have equal. Okay? That is why only B is correct. Next, primitive man, okay, primitive man dash an imbalance which could be rectified only by punishing the wrongdoer. Only by punishing the wrongdoer. Okay. Now please tell me the answer for this. This is relatively straightforward. This is relatively straightforward. Okay, give me the answer for this. B? Okay, I've got one answer as B. That is only 2 is correct. Okay, Anosh. Do we have any other answers? We have one A also. Okay, only one is correct. Okay. Okay, one more A. One more A. Okay. Okay. So, अच्छा एक मुझे बात बताओ. If we are talking about primitive man, तो primitive man मतलब what? Are we talking about today's human beings? Primitive man means, are we talking, do we include ourselves in primitive man? Yes or no? Primitive means what? Okay, we have got one more answer as D. No, correct. We don't include ourselves in primitive, right? We don't include older generation. Right. Primitive means very starting generations of, human beings. Very starting generations. So if we say this, primitive man, can we say believes because this includes a present tense? No. We can't say believes then because it includes a present tense. Yes or no? तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है पता है? प्रिमिटिव मैन बिलीव्स मींस टुडे आल्सो प्रिमिटिव मैन एग्जिस्ट करते हैं एंड दे बिलीव दैट. So tense part doesn't match here. When we say a no, that is when we say statement 1, tense part doesn't match. So believes part will not match here. Okay. So primitive man believed that a crime created an imbalance which could be rectified only by punishing the wrongdoer, or primitive man believed that a criminal created an imbalance which could be rectified only by punishing the wrongdoer. Okay. Now see, when we say both this, primitive man, we are talking about punishing the wrongdoer, right? So we are talking about the crime, okay, which could be rectified, they are saying. So we want to rectify a mistake. If we want to rectify a mistake, that rectification can happen related to the crime, not criminal. We can rectify a crime, we can't rectify a criminal, right? So rectification can happen for an action, not for a person. So if we say that, then only two, that is B, only two is correct. Why? Because we are talking about rectification process which can happen only for an action or a crime, not for a person. So this criminal part here is wrong, believed part is right here, criminal part is wrong here. Okay, this is a tense error. We can't say present tense for a primitive man. It won't set the tone correct. It won't set the equilibrium correct of the sentence. Okay. So we can't say this. That is why believed, and we are talking about rectification. So we are talk about a crime, not a criminal. Okay. Are we good till here? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Let's go ahead. Okay, this is the last question of this type now. Okay, fill in the blanks type wala. This is the last question. Calamities and indigence in the past dash than at present. Okay, let's discuss this first. Indigence. Okay, does anyone know the meaning of this word indigence? If yes, please type in the comment box. If someone knows the meaning of indigence, please type in the comment box. Otherwise, I will explain it. Okay, Harsha's given the answer. Okay, I'll discuss this word first. Okay, indigence. What do you mean by indigence? Indigence means poor. Very good, Anosh. Poor. Correct. Indigence is poor. Yes. A state of absolute poverty. A state of absolute poverty means indigence. Okay. So, calamities and indigence in the past, okay, was afflicted more, were more afflict, may afflict more. ठीक है? Okay. तो अच्छा ठीक है. Now here we have subject 1, we have subject 2 in the past. Two subjects, क्या flowchart था हमारा? Two subjects joined by and, right? Joined by and. How should be the verb? The verb should be plural. Is it? Should the verb be plural? Okay. We have got B also. ठीक है? Okay. B. Okay. नहीं, my point is calamities and indulgence in the past two subjects है, joined by and है, तो हमारा verb कैसा होना चाहिए? Singular या plural? ये बताओ पहले मुझे. Singular या plural पहले ये बताओ मुझे. Then only I'll go ahead. Plural, plural. Okay, okay. Now, uh, you're correct. The subject should be plural. तो क्या फिर हम ये बोले were more afflict? But अगर हम were more afflict बोलेंगे तो ये टेंस के साथ नहीं मैच हो रहा है, क्योंकि हम पास्ट की बात कर रहे हैं. तो ये टेंस के साथ नहीं मैच हो रहा है, तो फिर were तो नहीं हो सकता. may afflict more, फिर से हम पास्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, फिर से यहाँ पे टेंस मैच नहीं होगा, isn't it? So this is also gone. So how come यहाँ पे was है फिर? Now I'll explain this idea also. Okay. When two subjects S1 and S2 joined by and, okay, joined by and, when these two subjects when the two subjects that are joined by and denote a single idea to our mind. अब जैसे आप यहाँ पे पढ़ते हो ना calamities and indigence, तो हमारे दिमाग में problems आता है, या बहुत सारे problems थे बेचारों को, right? There were so many problems, 1 and 2. But when I say calamities and indulgence, I consider problems for them. I consider as one idea to my mind as problems. Problems in the past, right? Correct? So when these two subjects which are joined by and they are denoting a single idea to our mind. For example, I'll give you one more example as let's consider bread and butter his only food. When I say bread and butter is or are his only food. When I say bread and butter, do you count two objects in your mind or do you count one object? Bread and butter is one for us. हम उसको एक मानते हैं. We consider bread and butter as one item. So when we say bread and butter, they actually denote a single idea to our mind. So therefore, we are going to say is, not are. I'll give you right. So yes, that is why I've taken the same example. Bread and butter. I'll give you one more example of this, okay? Just give me a minute. Okay. If I say this, when I say time and tide waits for none. So when I say time and tide, my mind constitutes only time. It doesn't constitute tide. Or time and tide is one idea for me. So when I say time and tide, I'll have to say waits for none. So singular subject, a singular verb. I'm going to use a singular verb because these two subjects, bread and butter and time and tide, when they are joined by and, they denote a single idea to my mind. So if they denote a single idea to my mind, I am going to use a singular verb, not a plural verb. So coming back, circling back to our question, calamities and indigence are problem for me. I am constituting both of them as one problem for them. So when I say one problem, I will say was afflicted more. So that is why only one is correct. Okay. I have given you the rule also and I have given you one more addition to that rule. That is exception you can say. Okay. But please remember the flow chart here. Okay. So the verb will be singular. Okay. The verb will be singular, not plural. Why? Because both of the objects denote one idea to my mind. Are we good till here? Okay. Can I go ahead? This was the last question type. We have a changing question type now. We'll change the question type. Okay. Now, in this question, a sentence is given in bold followed by 5 options. Abhi previously, no, you had to change one part of the sentence. Here, entire sentence is given in bold. Now, which of the given options is the same in meaning as the sentence given in bold? So you have to find out a alternate sentence which has the same meaning. We don't have to change the meaning. We have to stick to our concept and meaning. Okay. Now, electrification has been one of the country's great successes over the past few decades. Over the past few decades. See, guys, I'll tell you one more thing. When you have such questions while reading the option, please read in a column manner, not in a row manner. You have to read column wise. You can't read row wise, read column wise. Okay. Please try to give me the answer and then I'll tell you how to read column wise. Okay. Try to give me the answer for this. Yes. Which of the five sentences? Read column wise. Okay, I've got one answer C. Okay. Anything else? I've got one more C. Okay. Any variations? Do I have any other options? Okay, I've got one more C. Okay, C is the most popular choice. Okay, now I'll tell you how to read column wise. Okay, let's read column wise. Not many successes other than none of the, okay, none of the given options. Okay, among the country's great successes, electrification has been the country's greatest. Okay, stop here. Okay, यहाँ पे बोला है one of the. Here I am saying greatest. Comparison doesn't match. Okay, comparison doesn't match. I'm saying one of the and greatest. Okay. Now, same here also, if we say not many successes other than, here we are talking in a positive tone. Okay. Here we are talking in a positive tone. Not many successes gives a negative tone. So this is also gone. Okay. Then this is also gone. Even this, no success has been as great as, even this sets the tone as negative. Even this sets the tone as negative. Correct? So this is also gone. Now only these two are remaining. Now let's read this. Among the country's great successes over the past few decades, electrification is one. Okay. One tone is matching. Correct? Tone is matching. And we are talking about uh, past few decades also, among the country's great successes also. Here also same tone, great successes. So right now I don't have any other reason to eliminate this option. Okay, the tone is also very positive according to the given sentence. So among here is correct. Okay. Okay, we'll do one more question of this type and then we'll stop. Okay, one more question. The implementation of the new tax reform has been beset by numerous challenges, not the least of which is the complexity of the legislation itself. Okay, beset, I'll tell you the meaning. Beset means you can say surrounded by challenges or problems. Okay, surrounded by challenges or problems. Okay, surrounded by challenges or problems, that is beset. Okay, now please tell me the answer. I've explained you the meaning. Okay, please tell me the answers. I told you how to read column wise. Okay, I've told you how to read column wise. See, okay, I've got one answer. See, Harsh. Okay, Okay, I've got one more answer as C. Okay, I can see that this is surrounded. Okay, this word is surrounded. This word is surrounded. I've got one more C. Any other answers? The sentence is little bit longer, so we might have to spend more time on this. Is there any other answer? Am I getting any other answer? सी? सब लोगों का सी है? Okay. Now, let's read the base sentence first. The implementation of new tax reform has been surrounded by numerous challenges. ठीक है, तो ये एक हमारा एक first aspect है. Okay. Not the least of which is the complexity of legislation itself. Not the least of which means बहुत सारे challenges है. There are numerous challenges apart from complexity of legislation itself. So this is your second part. This is your first part. This is your second part. Now whenever we have to construct the sentence, we have to find out sentences which are going to, have both these parts present. The new tax reform has been implemented without any significant challenges. Your entire tone is negated here. Entire tone of the sentence is negated. There are actually lot of challenges, numerous challenges. So the tone is exactly opposite. A is gone. The complexity of the legislation is the primary challenge. Here we are saying primary challenge. Here we are saying not the least of which. Means there are many more. And complexity is only one of them. There are lot of more problems apart from complexity. And here it says primary challenge. Again, the tone doesn't match here. This is contradicting the sentence. This is also contradicting the sentence. Okay. This part without any significant challenges is contradicting. Even primary challenge is also contradicting. Okay. Now, among the various challenges confronting the implementation of the new tax reform, okay, complexity is particularly noteworthy. Let's keep it aside. The implementation of new tax reform has been successful despite this particular tone doesn't match with the sentence. This tone despite doesn't match with the sentence. Okay, it's entirely not in sync with our sentence. None of the above. Okay, no, we have. Okay, we have this one sentence. Among the various challenges confronting. Okay, because this part, this among the various challenges confronting the implementation is this, not the least of which. So this is match. Okay, complexity of legislation is noteworthy. Noteworthy means not in the least of which again, right? Correct. Numerous challenges wala part is also matching. This noteworthy part wala is also matching. So the tone is completely in sync with our question, right? There is no what do you say, words which are creating a problem or not agreeing with the sentence in this case. So we'll go with C. Okay, we'll go with C. Okay, so if you have seen today, the topics that we covered were subject verb agreement, okay, conjunctions, tense, and phrases and clauses. Correct? Phrases and clauses. Now, these are the topics that are covered in today's lecture. Okay. Now, apart from these topics, the remaining topics I will be covering in the next lecture also. So, we will take another lecture on Tuesday. We'll meet on Tuesday. Okay. So, Tuesday 10 a.m. itself, we'll meet again and we'll continue this series with different types of questions and different concepts also. Okay. So, till the time, whatever concepts that we have discussed today, try to solve questions from this See, more or less, if we count, you have 28 to 30 days remaining for your test. Okay. Even if you solve 10 questions daily, you can finish at least 280 questions for grammar, which are more than enough to, reach our threshold of 10 to 12 questions. Right. So please try to solve as many questions as you can daily, and try to meet our threshold so we can try to reach our target of up to 30 to 35 marks. Okay, then till then, have a great week, enjoy your weekend, and I'll come back and then we'll practice some more questions with that. Okay, so till then, bye bye guys, have a nice day, please study. Yes, welcome Harsh, welcome, bye bye.